Alrighty. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode from the Football Fan Zone. As usual, this is what we do every week. We gather here together to review the Premier League fixtures. And yes, another weekend of Premier League fixtures has gone. No twists and turns this weekend for the big teams in quotes. Yes. So we're here to dissect all of the action. Yeah, we saw the big game of the weekend. We saw Arsenal demolish, dismantle the current defending champions, putting a statement win out there. We also saw Liverpool as well. Tricky away game to Bournemouth. Stayed composed, stayed humble, and then won the game 2-0. And then we saw Chelsea, get back to winning ways against West Ham. So, and a whole lot more we're going to be talking about. Righty. Let me do the introductions as usual. Let me start from my left. Let me start with the Adams, the Blues fan in the house. The Adams, how's your weekend? Bouncing back with a win. Life must feel good right now.
All is well.
All is well.
But even though EC transfer window, I don't know what's going on there, but I'll take
It's
the
okay.
3 points.
Nobody signed anybody here. It's okay. You don't have to sign players. Those of us that didn't sign players, we did die. It's okay.
Nah, you guys are good now. You guys just got off a 5-1 win now. You guys have more than enough firepower.
Harvest and Waneri. All right. Let me come. Very elated Arsenal fan, Chooks, over the moon. Chooks, I'm sure your head must have been. I don't know.
Man,
Tell us.
I was in the moon. I was deep in the moon because this one is personal. Like during the game, I didn't even care about title race. I just want to beat them. Like it's like when we gave Chelsea that 5. It felt good. No, it wasn't the 3 points. It was just the fact that like certain teams have just been able to bully us for the past few years. Like being able to catch them when they are vulnerable. It's not like they were full strength. Being able to catch them and flog them. Yeah. We also did it for my guy Adams. Adams had two tries at City this year. Didn't leave with anything. So this one was for the whole of London.
Yeah, I'll take it, man. I'll take that one.
So Chooks, since we're already on the subject, let's start with the big game of the weekend, right? Arsenal versus the current defending champions. Let me get your thoughts on the game overall. What impressed you most about the game? Which Arsenal player were you most impressed by? And in your view, what does this do for the wider title race that Arsenal are involved in this year again?
I think the player that impressed me most might shock you guys, but it was Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey was man. He was too good on Sunday. But in the game went exactly how I was thinking it would go. Not the scoreline, but I felt like we're going to come out more sharp. It's a home game. Then at some point, which happened, we won't have the ball. City are still cities. They're going to dominate possession. But in my head, I was like, if we get an early goal here, I knew we weren't going to keep a clean sheet. There was going to be some kind of goal scored. So when we got the first goal, I was like, okay, nice. Now we're going to relax. We can relax. Then Havertz had that big miss. And I was so annoyed. I'm like, this 2-0. Me, I'm already thinking at 2-0, we can pack the bus. Let's just get out of here with a win. We get into halftime. And it's looking like City have momentum because Raya too made. Raya is another big. A lot of people have not been shouting him out. He made 2 crazy saves in that first half: the Savinho and the corner kick. Anyway, the second half starts and Haaland scores, and I'm sure everybody felt City are probably gonna just take on. I felt the same way too because I'm like that kind of goal. Guy climbed Saliba. I'm like, yeah, it's about to be one of those games. And before I could blink, I was shouting for him not to shoot. I'm not gonna lie. Like I saw him in all that space. I'm like, please, guy, just pass the ball to Martinelli. And he went in. And then I think the favorite moments from this whole weekend, Marcel Skelly. I don't think he had a 10 out of 10 game per se, but the shithousery, as the English people will call it, elite. Same Haaland that was asking him, who are you? Well, now the whole world knows who he is. Scored a brilliant goal with his weak foot, did the celebration. And I mean, from there, I think after that goal, the game was pretty much over from City because they didn't try anymore. The game was over from them. So now to come back to reality, for a title race, I don't think we have enough. we're not going to have games like this every weekend. I mean, the window has closed, right? I think the window has closed, and we don't have any backup striker. If we have a killer, this game is probably 3-0 in the first half. That Havertz chances, like these are the chances that guys like Isak, they are waiting. They are just that kind of chance. They get it, they score. So title race, I'm not too confident. As I said the last episode, the only way we get back into touching distance is if Liverpool start to lose games, and that's the position I always hate to be in because I've rooted for Pool to lose, and what they do, they just gonna win every game that have to win. But I have another stew brewing. Adams knows the stew that's on the slow cooker. If we get Ben White back, Tomiyasu is training, Saka back, that March April period, let's say the title is decided. There's a trophy we haven't won. But I won't bring that to the podcast. That one is inside one slow pot. The thing is, I have to wait now. I have to wait for that agenda. I have to wait for that. I know Adams is going to kneel down in church or something to pray against that trophy coming back to London this year. But I was just thinking about it, I'm like, Saka is off the crutches. He's probably going to start training soon. The team should really not play with too much pressure because I think Liverpool is in a position where they're not going to mess up. The distance is a lot, and you guys are like, I didn't watch the Bournemouth game, but it seemed like you guys are just grinding out your wins, which is sometimes better than winning games 5-0, 4-0, where okay, you have to be on top of your game for the whole 90 minutes. You can't get complacent. I'm like, if we can play games, make the games less emotional. That's also one thing. I'm waiting to see when our players will be that way. It feels like every game has too much emotion. Like the game on Wednesday, just go in there and just play. But if you win, you win. If you don't win, you don't win. But, I feel like the emotions take over the whole stadium. But title race, we just have to see how it goes. The only way for us to come back into pole position is if you guys, let's say you lose the Everton game and you lose another game after that. Now we're 3 points behind. Yeah, that's. But if you win the Everton game, I think that's one hand on the trophy. 9 points, same games played. That means we'll need you guys to drop points 3 straight games, and that's 3 L's. Yeah, it's going to be difficult. But don't worry, Pius. I have my eyes on something else. You never know. It's why we love football. You can see all this now. People lose three straight games, or you gotta win three straight games. But one thing I do like is it's not like the Man City leading you where you just know. Like if Man City has 9 points, let's say like last year, there's no hope, there's no dream. But deep down, I know you people are gonna drop points somewhere. I don't know how many points it will be, but I think for the neutrals, it's fun because nobody really knows.
It's okay. The Adams, let me bring you in. Your thoughts on the game, your thoughts on Arsenal in general, right? And their title chances as well.
I think first of all, right, Arsenal, you have to give it to them. They just know how to give you that drama, that dramatic feel. They just bring some whether that's when they are losing or winning. There's just something about it, right? If you go back to the tunnel incident with Keane and Vieira, there's always something, right? There's always something spicy. They just bring that extra edge to the Premier League, and over the years is why we love the Premier League so much. And now there's this rivalry between them and Man City. There's this thing that they did when they won, when this guy, other guy brought out the cameras and was taking pictures. There's just something about them. There's always some talking points, right? And it just adds to why we love the Premier League so much. And I know I loved every moment of, being a Chelsea fan, having lived through Jose Mourinho and his antics, where, there's always drama associated with our team. And now it feels like he's now tilted towards us now. But yeah, it was box office for a neutral. It was very entertaining. Well, I don't really consider myself a neutral because I still have vested interest in, the title race, so to speak. But yeah, it was very interesting. A very interesting game, and you have to give credit to us now. They totally dominated except that period in the first half where City had all the ball. Where even at that, they controlled City, they limited the threat from City. And I wasn't surprised when Trick said Partey was his, man of the match. And I've always thought this season, I've not said it on this show, but I've always thought that Partey had a good season and he had been unfairly criticized. Whether that's when he's been asked to play out of position in right back, when he's been playing in midfield, I feel like he has given a very good account of himself. And of course, he's not going to roll back the years of prime Partey, but for his age and for a player that is constantly injured like that, he's done well. Like, he's not really been terrible, right? He's been putting like 6 to 7 over 10 performances out of position, in difficult situations. He did very well. And one player that also gets criticized a lot, a player that I followed throughout his career, Declan Rice. So Declan Rice been in and out of the team for some weird reason. People question his ability to affect the game offensively, which is kind of weird these days, right? Every player doesn't always have to have an offensive input into the game. I get the fact that now as a number 6 or number 8, you have to contribute in some fashion to the numbers. But I mean, once you do the basics right, which is your job, and which I feel like is Declan Rice's strength, right? The rest will naturally follow. And you saw he had, of course, that City midfield. We've talked about it. But still, man, when you know how you know serious teams, when they get the opportunity, they take it. That's how you know serious teams. They don't play about, they don't lie about. And it always takes me back to my own team. I know you asked me about Arsenal, but it takes me back to my own team. And we played this same City side last week. It just shows how far apart we are from even City. Talk more of like Arsenal. We're just far behind those teams right now. A lot of Chelsea fans that must have thought that would have challenged and gone on a title race. They've seen the picture that it's different minerals, right? There's a difference between teams trying to get into the top 4 and that next level. Now the question always remains: is Arsenal able to get over that hump? Are they able to get that title? And I want to say they are not doing a lot of things wrong. They are not doing a lot of things wrong. Meaning I feel like it's just a matter of time or something's falling their way, like in terms of fitness, refereeing decision, the opposition. They are doing what they should do, right? They're doing what they should do really well. And people have criticized Arsenal this season. They've criticized, the corner kicks. And I kept saying one thing. I said, I'm not concerned about Arsenal's goal scoring. The Arsenal can score goals and they will score goals. People have said Arsenal struggle to create chances and score goals, but I was never concerned. I watched the team. I know that they tried to be a little bit more pragmatic, which I felt was a bold move, and I was kind of in support of the move at the time. But that didn't really translate. But I feel like Arsenal are in the right path. Very good game against City. Electric performance from all the players. He talked about Raya, made some key saves during the game. And the season is so long that there's always going to be, there's still more, like you say, Pius, twist and turns. That's just the truth. Like the season is so long and drawn out that there's always going to be periods, right? You have periods where you drop form, somebody gets injured, somebody's out of form, your coach makes a terrible decision, but it's how you bounce back. And this team, time and time again, they've been able to bounce back. Of course, like they are still awaiting that win. I know I said that Newcastle game wasn't over, right? I said that Newcastle tie wasn't over. And even more so now, after that City game, I feel like, they have renewed energy. They're out of the FA Cup. Rest stop. We go again for the Premier League. Man, I'm telling you that they will believe that they can, at least get 2 goals in that Newcastle game and tie the game and take it to extra time or penalties. So this is what we want. Like, we don't want Liverpool to run away with the league. We want competition. We want to see, want to be more competitive. Yeah, so yeah,
I'm sure as a neutral.
of course. Like I want to, and you guys might laugh, but we might have a say in how it eventually swings. And just put that out there.
And remember
I mean,
last season, Chelsea having a say.
Chelsea
No,
is coming
last
to the Emirates. Thank God. Are they going to Anfield or are you guys going to Stamford? Good luck, man. We went there. They were shaking gates in Stamford Bridge last time we were there.
Yes, yes, yeah, Adams. I think you're spot on, right? Yeah, there's still a lot of, as a Liverpool fan myself, you see a lot of Liverpool accounts. Oh, we just need to win. With the way they see these things, sometimes I laugh. You say we just need 12 more wins, and I'm
My
like,
brother, my brother was saying it that 11 wins. 'Cause my brother is a Liverpool fan. He was like 11 more wins.
11 more wins. That 11 wins. That's why they come. That's why they easy from out. 11 wins, just like that. So yeah, it's still the bottom line is still a
Yeah,
long way to go. I mentioned some few weeks ago. I've seen the great Manchester United team, 8 points with the Vic Ferguson teams of Rio Ferdinand, Rooney, those guys, 9 points leading match. That maybe like how many games ago? 5 games, 6 games ago, and they still the end of the league. So nothing is decided yet. I wish, of course, as a Liverpool fan, I wish that it's
yeah.
different, but it's not the case. There's still a lot of football to be played.
And confidence is a weird thing in football, in life
It
in
is.
general. Like,
It is.
Yeah,
you know,
if you catch confidence at the right time,
It is.
is crazy what can happen.
I'm
yeah,
telling you, I just want to say, sometimes it doesn't even need to take a defeat. It can just take one draw, and
Yeah,
then you
one
start
random
doubting
draw
yourself.
to a random team,
Yeah,
and it's like,
go
yeah,
watch. I just remember some few weeks ago, right? Because like fans have Liverpool. I remember Liverpool withdrew to Man United and Nottingham Forest back to back. The meltdown was crazy. You could already tell that, like, we've thrown
yeah,
it, we've
yeah.
bottled it.
Football,
Arsenal is coming.
especially the Premier League, it's so weird. Like, now
Yeah,
things will not start happening. All those storylines will not start falling into place. Like one ex player, you now be playing somebody, one ex coach or something will happen, one refereeing decision, and everything will just line up, and you'll be like,
like that.
nah,
Yeah.
why at this time? Like, why is it right now?
Yes, so it's not over. And before I sort of skew the conversation towards Liverpool, just still with Arsenal. Yeah, I saw the game yesterday and I was like, you know, at some point, I was seeing an analysis today. I was like, from the first minutes up until like the 54th minute, it looked like the game was in the balance. It didn't look like
It was
Arsenal
going to be a
were
5-1, yeah.
yeah, it looked like Arsenal were sort of cautious. They were like, okay, taking that early 1-0 lead. It was still like City was dominating the possession. We were just looking for Arsenal was compact. Fair play to Arsenal. I think Arsenal is one of those teams that do it very well. There's a way they defend, like they make it very difficult for the opposition to create any sort of chances. Like the way Arteta has them, that defensive structure is very good. And I think that's something that you need in the title. Just like Alex Ferguson usually say, defense wins you titles. So I think Arsenal, defensively wise, I think they are there. Um, and there's been this criticism like in the previous weeks about Arsenal, where you had like their legends here, really saying, "Oh, why are they behind Liverpool as at right like with the amount of points there?" And Henry was saying, "Oh, when he watches them, it's like they play like they don't want to lose." Meanwhile, when he watches Liverpool, they play like a team that wants to win. Something like that. I don't know if you sort of get where they're coming from. It feels like Arsenal in some games they are just a bit. They
Automatic,
don't want
yeah.
to, he wants them to like attack teams and
Be more adventurous.
exactly, and you saw what they can do when they attack teams. They can score 5 goals. So it's still like fair play to Arsenal, and with the sort of injuries that they have and with the sort of refereeing decisions that they feel have gone against them, they're still within touching distance of Liverpool. So I think
I think
confidence
another thing that I've noticed over the years, of course, I know somebody will point out that he hasn't won a title, but every time Ateta has been questioned about something, with time, he always comes out right. I'm not an Arsenal fan, so I don't know every detail. But just looking from afar, I remember when they were talking, they made a big thing about the Raya Ramsdale thing. That feels like a
it
right
seems like
decision now.
it seems like it's vindicated now. Yeah,
I remember Kai Havertz. Okay, maybe that's still in the balance. Neither here nor there with that one. We don't know. But Kai Havertz does seem like leaning towards more like, oh, it was a correct decision to sign him than it was. I don't know. That's very contentious. Maybe that one is not a good example.
no, I mean
When,
that actually is a very good example because sometimes, right? Obviously, in the moment, you get drawn to be harsh on Kai Havertz, but the numbers, the big accounts on Twitter that big Arsenal account that always tweet stuff, and Kai Havertz, I don't know from which time frame, but he's only behind Isaac, Salah, and he's on same numbers with what's his name, Ollie Watkins on goals and assists. And it's like, sometimes you don't really notice his impact because of the way he plays, and he's not as clinical as those. He's not a predator type of striker. He's not even a striker, but for some weird reason, the guy gets goals. And I mean, the first goal came off an assist from him, and he's always available. He plays 90 minutes game after game after game. I think the manager I would give that a view for the manager. Obviously, it is contentious, but the manager, he's made a lot of decisions that will make you scratch your head. But I guess that's why he's the manager and the fans are not, because the fans bring emotion into you, which rightfully so. Also, only seeing 90 minutes. These guys are there with them in training. They have a lot more information than the average fan will have. But nah, Adams, that's actually a very good take.
So I also wanted to sit with you. I wanted to get your thoughts on the two youngsters in your team, the two teenagers, right? Two Highland boys, Miles Lewis Kelly and Ethan Waneri. I as in since I saw like those two guys are. Let me first start with Miles Lewis Kelly. Like when I saw this guy, like the first game I saw him play, I was like, nah, this guy is good. For his age, he looks very strong, and not even just like defensively, even attacking wise. Like there was the game against Aston Villa where you guys drew. There was a pass that he gave Trossard.
Quickly, he
Yeah, just it's like you're like, wow, for such a you're like if De Bruyne or somebody give that pass, we would have been applauding. Like, the boy is amazing, So fair play to him. Then Ethan Waneri, wow, that's another guy. And I'm like, wow. I saw something today said I think whether at this age Yamal and Yamal had not scored as many. I'm not trying to
There
get
we
it.
go. There we go. This comparison is okay.
Yeah, I'm not saying something that somebody like, but fair play, let's not go there, but fair play to them.
No,
And I
those
think I
those
saw somewhere that's
those boys are good. I remember when I went to watch the preseason game when Liverpool and Arsenal played, and Miles Lewis Kelly specifically, he's technically really really sound, and he has an engine. Uzo isn't here for this episode, but me and Uzo had an argument in the summer, and he was saying Ateta doesn't trust the youth because he doesn't play youth. And all I told him, and I think this applies for every single club that has had a youth player come from the academy to the first team. It's very simple. If you are good, you are good. That's just how simple it is. A team fighting for the title, a team even playing for top four, doesn't have time to integrate a youth player that is not up to the level required. I mean, we've seen a lot of we just had two leave, one left in the summer to United, and another one has left again to United. We had one leave to Brighton, to Luton. Youth players also, they also have their own. I hate when fans start to take jabs at these youth players. These guys are kids, man. If I have a young child and he has a chance to start his career and make money, what is he doing in the academy if he feels like he can go and play? Obviously, they don't look at it as how fans look at it. This is a job to them. But the honest truth about the matter is, if you are good enough, you are good enough. They don't have to do the whole let's integrate you slowly. The players train all the time with the first team.
No, but I think just to cut you off there, I think that's credit to Ateta though. He
Yeah, it
managed
is. It is.
the integration
The
well.
timing, which is what I
Yeah.
was telling Uzo. Uzo was like making the point that Ateta doesn't play any youth players. Arsenal used to be a team that played. I'm like, that Arsenal was not, respectfully, they were not competing for the title. They will be in the title race maybe till like February, but the expectations now every season is title from the last two seasons. So the way Arteta has been able to manage those, but I remember when Odegaard, didn't, he got injured. All the fans were on his neck to play Waneri, play Waneri, play Waneri, and he didn't really play him, start him games, and even at the Aston Villa game, right? Waneri started, and he wasn't the Wolves game. Sorry, it felt like he was a ghost. Because at the end of the day, he's still 17. Like Miles Lewis Kelly, I don't expect him to be the best player on the team because he's gonna have a game where somebody is going to hold his shirt. These boys, as they are not even up to 18 in America, they can't even buy alcohol. So, but it's credit to the manager and credit to them too. It's not easy to come on and start scoring goals. Because sometimes I think as youth players, right, you expect them to just play minutes and have impact. But you have the boys scoring goals and creating their own lore. Like the North London derby, Marcus Kelly was, pumping the fans. Then he scores the goals, he throws Haaland, all those things. As a person consuming this sport, it just makes me feel happy because we don't really have those characters in Arsenal that can, sometimes Saka doesn't really do it. Saka will do something. Just having a youth player that can take somebody. He's like that villain that we don't have. But they are skill wise, those boys are really, really good. Just fingers crossed, no injuries. Our manager has shown that he's not scared to hook somebody at 45 minutes to rescue. And whenever we hear they have any knocks, he doesn't play them. It's nice to have youth players come out. Hopefully the guy can maybe be our Trent or Rhys James, someone that just locks in that position. Now we're not worrying about signing somebody. Same way with Saka. And I think as a fan, it gives you. I know Adams that Rhys James free kick. It just gives you a different happiness knowing that
Yeah.
like, this guy
He's one
literally
of
all his
us.
life he has come from the
That
same
is
team.
our boy.
Which is one thing I want to get Pius your own thoughts on the whole Van Dijk, Trent, Salah thing. I like Liverpool. It's one of the reasons why I've always said if you guys win the league, it is not as painful as like a City or like a United. As someone that maybe I enjoy watching Liverpool play, I'm not gonna lie to you. If Trent goes to Madrid, it's gonna leave a very bitter taste in the mouth. Because the guy just looks like the Gerrard pipeline, future captain. He's going to be here to. He has already won a league and Champions League, so the pressure to even deliver trophies is not going to be aggressive on him. I don't know. Like, has there been any insider information on what's going on? I know nothing has been reported on like any extensions, at least for Salah or Van Dijk. Are they just waiting to end the season?
Sort of just been all it's quiet. No
But
news.
would you how would you feel if Trent goes? My dad is more of the he should go. It does like
Nah, no, I'm not having that view. Of course, I'll be sad, especially as a Liverpool
but would you
player.
resent him?
No, nah,
I
I
think
think that's the difference from me and
that's a better
majority of other
question.
fans.
Do you think the fan base as a whole should resent him for
The fan
leaving?
base as a whole, the fan base as a whole shouldn't. But I know they will, of course, they will not listen to me. They will obviously resent
He
him.
said they will
But
listen
for
to
me
me.
personally, I won't resent him. I think he's still 25 or so. He has won
Yeah, he's
everything for
young.
his boyhood club. He has won everything as well. He's feel like
They
what else
should
is
gotta
there to
kidnap
do?
his mom. The guy's not going anywhere. She gotta kidnap his brother. The
And of
guy
course,
is
I'm sure he will be saying,
not
and
anywhere.
they always say like there's this thing that is close to Bellingham.
But
So I'm
how
sure
do you get to that point though? How do you get to that point where like a prized asset, one
he's on
of your
his.
own? I can't remember clearly, but did you ever have that type of situation with like a Steven Gerrard? I know there was that point where he almost, he was talking to Chelsea or
I
I
think
think Mourinho.
Sterling was the last player they had in this situation.
Yeah, how do you
Yeah,
get to that point?
But
Like
Sterling's one was a little understandable, given like the team around.
yeah.
But I don't know if it's like a money thing. I don't know. I feel like there are ways to pacify boyhood players.
Yeah,
yeah.
like you shouldn't even get into that type of situation with
It's just where it's
players
like
like that.
towards the last year of his
Yeah,
contract, and
because
then
he's
you're
going to go for free, right?
free. Yeah, that's even the one that's annoying majority of the
Because
fans. Like
I don't know,
the
man.
boyhood fan just going for free. We're not
No,
even going to get
I
any.
think I would understand if they resent him because even Grealish signed the extension and told Villa that next year you just have to sell me, but I'm not going to go for free because the money is a
Yeah,
lot.
and I think it's the same thing this guy did. Just this Wolves guy Cunha.
Yeah, Cunha too. You signed the
I mean,
extension.
exactly, and even when you are watching the video where they were intervening, even gave it out. Said at least I've signed this contract. Like, so if I
Oh
go,
yeah,
at
yeah.
least
You signed it, and if you sell me, you're gonna get a lot of money.
yeah. So I don't know how Liverpool got to this. I think it was the whole when Klopp was leaving. There was it was just a mess. Right
The
now, a lot of Liverpool fans are not even. They just want to. Everybody's mind is like, let's just win this Premier League. Somebody even asked the question: would you sacrifice this Premier League title, this a
That's a
potential
good
Premier
question,
League
Pius.
title
I want to hear what you
for
think.
all the three players signing the contracts?
What do you
That's a
think,
very
Pius?
easy question.
What?
Of course, I'm prioritizing winning this Premier League over anybody signing any contracts. Nobody's bigger than people come and go. Like they say in Nigeria, Barak, soldier go, come go, Barak will still remain.
I don't know. I think I'm a Red fan. Man. I would sacrifice not winning the league if it meant keeping Bukayo Saka here forever. Go and
Nah.
keep the league. We'll try next season.
I
We'll
don't
try
want
next
to
year.
try next year.
I will try next year.
Next year that
No,
City
but
are going
like,
to be back.
I honestly
No
feel
way.
like it's certain players
I feel like
add that culthood to the, like it's like
plus
Man
plus
City will never have it in my opinion. Like they don't. I mean, Foden maybe, but you see how he performs. Like just having a group of players that like these guys, man. It's like remember the 2022 game with Liverpool when Xhaka pushed Trent, and that alone woke up the whole Anfield, woke up the players, woke up like the whole stadium went into that aura mode that everybody talks about. Imagine if he had pushed maybe Matip. I don't know, nobody would care, man. They would just keep clapping. But like that's like his what Liverpool is right now. I don't know. It's one of those things that I personally like. If I was a true Liverpool fan, I can't understand how he's going. Like that's what would make me resent him because I cannot understand how. And even if you are going to go, you won't even get us any. Like you won't sign an extension and let's get enough. Because
Exactly.
that's
I'm actually of a different opinion though. Like I don't want to see my like if I have someone like Trent or Bukayo Saka, I will make peace with the fact that he went on a free. I don't know, than for them to sign him with money. It just feels like he's worth more than
and they
money
have
for
to
me. Like,
sign him. They have
nah,
to
nah,
sign
I don't. I
that 100. Bro, Madrid is going to open the check for FSG. Like
nah. So
Trent
they'll be
is
like,
beyond like no
fair
Trent
share, yeah.
abilities, right? Like
You
just
can't go
seeing
for free.
how he plays the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Because he's a
Especially
kind
when
of
this.
Because me, I want to blame it on the club. Like I want to have the mentality like, okay, there was nothing that could happen, right? The club couldn't agree. It's the club's fault. Rather than if you sign him, it's almost like he wanted to go. Like he was like, I beg, that type of thing. Like he wanted to leave. But
So just like Oyamuna, just sign this one so that
yeah,
at least
yeah,
collect the money that I want.
exactly. But
Fair play.
if he leaves on a free, I'll be like, well, he didn't have a choice. We didn't give him what he wanted.
Well, that's another way to look at
yeah.
it. That
I mean, it's not optics at at the end. Of the day. I think that might even be a bigger discussion because boyhood players leaving their teams is always going to hurt.
Yeah,
Like
it's true.
I've
It's
not
true,
seen
man.
an instance like
It's
where a
true.
boyhood player left the team, and even sometimes you see some young players just go without trying to wait. That one still hurts. But imagine someone that has lifted something. Like if Saka lifts anything, any trophy, any major trophy for this club, me, I'm not understanding. He cannot. This is brother. We are linked. We are etched forever. Like you have to stay here. The only place you can go that I will understand is maybe Madrid. That one maybe, but I will still be upset
But
because
I don't see Saka going anywhere, man.
Yeah, Saka
but
just
Saka
looks
just
like a
like
London boy. Like
imagine
it's
they
for
had
life.
told you 3 years ago after Trent won the Champions League that in 4 years he's going
that's
to
true,
leave.
that's true.
And it's
Football, you
possible.
never know. Football, you never know.
Anyone can go. It's not now
Anybody
that they
can
are
go.
talking about
Football,
Saliba too. That Madrid is keeping. If Saliba, let's say he wins the Premier League and maybe he wins another trophy, you'll be like, okay, yeah, he needs a new experience. I'm talking about
Exactly.
someone. This trend, you hear him talk, man. Scouse, like the guy is a scouse from from his throat. Like, yes, Saka talk, you just know he's from London. Like, this is a London boy. I don't know. It's something that I was really thinking about. Like, you guys have like slot is in such an interesting position because let's all be what's it called truthful. He is going to overachieve if he wins the title. But then you now get into this area where like next year, right? If you guys don't sign players, you lose all these guys. What's not the expectation? Will you just be happy if he tries to perform another miracle? I don't know. That's probably like a topic for
yeah,
another
For
day.
another day.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
But
Yes. I just wanted to I wanted to ask you a question, Chooks, around coming back to Arsenal, right? Is an one area. So if by the time Saka is to come back, right, there's been questions around where does he play? Like what happens? Does he go back to the bench or like it's not as if he's starting now anyway. But what happened? Like some people are saying does Odegaard bench him or does he
there's a very simple answer to our question. Waneri is not remotely close to.
I don't know why that's a debate.
He's not remotely close to doing what Saka can do. For one, they don't even double him. Everything he's doing is 1v1. So the whole Saka
Yeah,
conversation,
let's not even that. That's a
they should just
disrespectful
dead it.
conversation.
The
Yeah,
guy is going to come off the bench. He has 53 on his back. He's not starting anywhere. He
yeah,
doesn't even
that's
start now. He's not even
yeah.
starting right now. Martinelli starts there. So yeah, that one is no. It's not.
It's not a
Saka has been
discussion.
injured for the last 2 months, and nobody has passed him in assist. Chances created. A guy has not played football in 2 months. Yeah, it's not like some of the things Saka was doing, has been doing. It doesn't get praised because is it a color thing? You have to ask yourself, is it an underbelly
Is it?
color thing? Like, look at. I know you were watching Sky Pius. You saw how they didn't bring up Foden once.
Yeah,
The
that's
whole segment, and Foden had
had a horrible.
he had a horror show. This is the PFA Player of the Year. He gave the ball away for the
The party
equalizer.
go right. Yeah,
Yeah. So
He had a,
I mean, yeah, they shouldn't start the whole Waneri Saka thing. It's
yeah.
not remotely close.
All right. And just like a bit of start, Louis Kelly, 18 years and 129 days. Ethan Waneri, 17 years and 318 days. Meant that it was the first time since 2017 that two players aged 18 or below have scored in a Premier League game.
Oh, in Premier League
First,
game. When was the last time?
2008, 2009.
Wait, who
who
scored
are the
in those
people?
games?
Nah, I don't know. I've not seen it here. I
I
don't
also
have it there.
saw another interesting stat. So the stat I saw was this is the first time since Man City lost 8-0 to Middlesbrough that they've conceded 5 goals and none were
Wow.
from set pieces.
Pieces. Wow.
Set piece
Wow.
FC?
Wow. Nice one. Selfie
I
first.
think that's my only critique. Before we leave
Yeah.
us, that's my only critique from this weekend. I needed a crashing Gabriel header just to bring me down. You know, when you've eaten appetizer, you've eaten the main dish, and they bring you some
Some
tiramisu
dessert.
or cake, some cake,
Yes.
something to
Exactly.
just let everything cool. If there was pepper in the food, the
Crown
ice cream,
everything.
I will just cool everything. A Gabriel crashing header, others. You already know my Terry agenda. I won't bring it back.
Nah, this weekend.
I will not bring it back, but
Now,
Nah. What you fair play. This was like a fantastic weekend for Arsenal fans,
no,
man. Like,
it was a meal. We
and I
needed
don't
it.
get like fine, even as like rival Liverpool, rival like title chasing fan, like or, like a Liverpool fan. I was like, of course, I wanted City to win, but
No,
at the end of the day,
I can't lie. I'm going to be honest with you. I can swear on anything. The game people have against them, sandwiching between that Madrid game. I don't care for a title. I want you guys to load them it. Like Man City, I do not like those guys, man. Look at them. They spent 200 million in just the January window in a year that they are having a one-off year. And look at what Pep is able to sit down and carry. And next year now they will win maybe 38 games. And everybody will pretend that they are good. How you allowed to spend 200 mil in just January? I'll be watching them. Madrid is gonna knock them out.
and Adams, quick one on City, right? I think they said they've conceded more goals than Manchester United this season, so
wow.
which is a damning start for them, which is very bad. It's for you. The simple question for you is it like the end of like an era for Manchester City? Because I'm looking at the team. De Bruyne looks like it's finished. Like Gundogan looks like the legs are gone. Kovacic, like it doesn't look, it looks like is there an end of an era for you, or do you think like they will quickly fix the issues that they have and they'll probably be back to where they were next season?
Yeah, I think it's an end of an era for sure. Like they'll always still be a very good team, but I don't see them doing any. I think somebody else. I don't see them. Yeah, I mean it's Pep, right? Pep is one of the greatest coaches ever. But yeah, I don't see this team coming back, man. Like those guys, they had. I can't keep going on forever. Can't keep going on forever. I think the next era we're going to see is going to be more like what used to be like. Like one team wins one season, another team wins the other season, and then another team wins, something like that. We're not going to see that domination for a while. You're on mute. Let me unmute you.
Okay, can you hear me now? Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, I'm sort of in agreement. It just feels like they will need a whole lot, more than a January transfer window. Even this a summer. It just feels like they will have to take a back seat now
Yeah.
in terms of anything title race. Hopefully I'm right. Okay.
Swear that I have a completely opposite take. I think they're going to be right back next year. You know what it means to spend 200 million in January alone? They've locked up.
Doesn't mean
So let's say they even get a transfer ban, they get Rodri back, they have depth. And it's not the kind of depth where, you look at your bench and you're whipping. This is proper depth. And you now
which
have
depth? Which
Pep,
depth
right?
is that? Which depth is that? I don't see it.
Yeah, but but you're going to get a lot of players healthy, players back, replacements for the older players. This Mamouche guy, the
But
sample
it
size
will
are
take some
same.
time, though. It takes some time for
But
them to
next
settle
next
in.
year, and do you know the one thing everybody is forgetting? They have a psychopath as their manager. He's just quietly just align everybody to get their rocks off. I don't know if people saw the interview when they asked him about the Louis Kelly celebration. How cynical he looked. He's like, oh, okay, no problem. Next year I'll be good here. That's a very respect. And I'm being very serious. Like next year, Man City, especially if they catch you at a horrible time, because Pep now has the chance to even reinvent his own. Because normally, he does the whole fake humble thing. Managers are really good. Remember, by the time Pep produces your manager, you already know they go load you. If he comes out and he starts saying, "Oh yeah, he loves what Maresca is doing at Chelsea, top guy," you already know that 4-0 is coming. So now next year he can have a whole new approach. Nah, City is going to be there for sure.
Hmm.
This period, this is the time to get them. When they say you have to get somebody. When a giant falls, that's your time to go and get there. Because when they get back up, especially if they're not going to get punished, if they don't get punished for the 115 charges, ah, I don't know. It's going to be tougher next year, in my own opinion.
So, Chuk's final question on Arsenal. Your prediction for the second leg of that semi-final. Are you guys coming back,
Man,
or the job is over for you?
let's go out there, man. My prediction is a 4-1 to the Arsenal.
Wow, that was
I like
bold.
that. I like that. That's
A
bold,
4
man. That's
4
Wow,
bold.
4 to the Arsenal. Wow, we are
can
going
beat
to
the
come back.
defending champs. I mean, we can come back to if it doesn't happen. You know me, I'll hold. But I'm feeling confident. Not the confidence in the pool that are going to score the goals, but you don't go from beating City 5-1 to shriveling at St. James's Park. Just go there and make the game open. Go if you score a quick goal, they don't have to defend. The game gets open, and one thing we do know is, I mean, Adams has already said it. We're gonna get drama in that game. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
If we don't win, it will not be because of we didn't play well. There will be drama, referee drama. Something's going to happen. So for that alone, so I'm even more excited for the game on tomorrow or Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Aye,
Looking forward to the game.
I'm gonna be in the
Looking
office.
forward to the game. All right, Chooks. Let's quickly touch a bit on your fellow title contenders, Liverpool. Um, yeah, just like you mentioned, Adams was voice.
Is it your fellow tactical contender?
Oh my dear,
Like, it's
like
not his team.
like he's not far ahead.
No, anything can still happen. That's what we've been saying. It's still a title. What's it called now? Race. Liverpool. Good job winning Bournemouth 2 goals to 0. This was one of the games I had sort of like penciled down as a tricky game, and I was so relieved at the final. Fair play to Bournemouth, like they play the same way, like, and they really at some point in that game we're riding our luck. Like I knew it's like I think I had mentioned it, like yeah, we'll have to just ride our luck at some point, and we were. There were some chances where they were just hitting the bar. You had Clive missing an open goal. You're like, whoosh. That was a lucky escape. So yeah, it was a good one to win, but fair play to the team. They defended well where they had to. Alisson Becker, getting back there. He has faced some sort of criticism this season. Well, yeah, he showed his stuff that game as well. So he showed why he's a top goalkeeper. And what else can you say? The man, inevitable Mohamed Salah. When all nerves are there, you're like, oh, it's just a 1-0 lead, it's a narrow lead. Bournemouth can equalize at any time. He just gives them that dagger. And once that second goal went in, you just knew that, yeah, there was nothing happening. So for Liverpool right now, we just need to keep on doing the business. I have one eye on Arsenal, but my mind is just like, let's just concentrate on what we have to do. We're the ones ahead. Just take each game at a time. Like Salah always says in his post-match interview, we just need to stay humble, focus ourselves, win each game as it comes, and we'll see where it takes us. I'm looking at the next. So one of my worries is the amount of games that we have to play, right? Because I'm looking at Arsenal. They're out of the FA Cup. It looks like they don't have that. So those number of games are gone. I'm looking at Liverpool. We're still in all four competitions. I'm worried,
They come out
but
of one now.
yeah, yeah. So by Thursday, we'll see what happens. Tottenham might knock us out, so we know that okay, that's
But that's just
gone.
one game. That's just one.
Exactly. And then we have the FA Cup this weekend against what's their
And
name
yeah, we
now?
get to
Championship
rest.
team.
Bye. My team is going
Plymouth.
to do.
Yeah. Arsenal is going to rest. So you're looking at wow, why your team is struggling against Plymouth in the FA Cup. Your rivals are resting in Dubai somewhere chilling. So yeah,
Are they going to Dubai again?
Yeah.
I think it's confirmed that you're traveling to
Yeah, it
Dubai.
was confirmed after we finished top 8. Hey man, go
Yeah.
get some sun. You know London. The weather too the rain for London, man. Let's go to Dubai. Let Ben White get
If I were you, I'll be worried though.
No, of course, I'm worried. And the thing about
Buy
it is that
get some steak.
oh
yeah,
get some sort of that sauce based.
and this February is a critical month in terms of like the fixtures, right? Some very tricky away games in there as well. The last ever Merseyside derby at Goodison because Everton are moving to their new stadium, and I'm
No,
sure
I'll be there for
Everton
that one, man. I'll be there for that
Everton
one.
is
Moyes.
Everton
Moyes.
Everton
Come on, man. Come on,
Everton
Moyes.
is Everton are currently on form, 3 straight wins. That game, of course, they want to do everything to stop Liverpool from winning the Premier League. So they'll be fired up. Their last good, they will be like, now, no way Liverpool's going to win that game. So I'm worried about that game as well. So, but if we win that game, yeah, like some of our fans are saying, like, yeah, it's going to be looking good because 9 points will be looking like a solid lead.
Yeah.
Even if,
I can tell you something for free. You're not getting 3 points from that game. You heard it here first.
Anything more gives us we eat 1.0 even 3 no Allah. Anything you give us we eat.
yeah. And another worry for me is I think there's an over reliance on Mohamed Salah for me in our attack line. I'm just like right from time if you've sort of known my takes. I'm not a fan of Luis Diaz. I've never
Gakpo
been.
has stepped up this season. He has been better.
He has stepped up, but I need him to step up more. I don't know if we're going to win a title because I was looking at the graphic today on Sky and we're like 61% of goals and assists this season. Mohamed Salah. That's a huge number from just one player. It's just like because Mohamed Salah is having like an all-timer season, so it's
But
just
that's
like
how it
for
is, though. That's how it is.
You know,
Like
and
you
this
always have
this
one
is that
player.
this is that City effect. Like Man City made us think, oh yeah, goals are supposed to go from all the teams that
everybody.
for this new rubbish. One player is that's why he's the best player in the league.
Yeah.
He's the best player in the team because he's the one that is carrying a lot of that responsibility. Obviously, you would like other people to step up, but you know who your guy is. It's not like when City was running around here without any striker and they were allowed to win this league. Man, they need to remove them from this institution, please. I'll be there that day with granite in my hand.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know. It's just for us to not to to bring in that sort of experience that we've had in sort of previous title races with City over the years, and we have some key players in the team who have been there and who have done it. I'll be counting on them. Those are the players I'm going to be looking at between now and the end of season to stand up. Salah has continued to show that consistency. I hope he keeps it up. I'm looking at Van Dijk, bringing your leadership at the back. Just I don't know, just take us there. Like many people say, like Liverpool fans and everybody else, if we don't win the title from here, it's going to be a disaster. You won't see me here next season. You won't see me here next season. So yeah, we just have to get the business done. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know if there's anything you guys want to add about Liverpool before we.
What do you
Move
guys
on.
think about the Rashford? Rash.
Man, I don't like. I mean, it's a good move for Villa, but we're competing with them for places, Champions League places, and I don't like the move from my perspective, to be honest.
That's threatening Villa. Same for me. I don't like the move as well. Why I don't like the move as a Liverpool fan is because we still have Arsenal Villa to play. And I'm like, and Rashford has a sort of thing for Liverpool. He always has that turn up against us. So I'm worried from that perspective. But from Rashford's perspective, in terms of his career and in terms of Aston Villa, I think he could revive his career there. Who knows? Maybe a bit less pressure on him. You know, who knows? Or do you think he'll be coming in with massive pressure, Adams, as
Yeah,
a
I think it's a new environment. He has something to prove. You know, just away from the Manchester United noise and everything that goes on with that team. But he has 6 months, right? He has 6 months to kind of like show his level again. So yeah, I know for sure that he has talent. I know that he's a talented player, and he just needs a blank slate, a clean slate for him to show what he can do. So from a player perspective, it's good for him, and I feel like that's the end of his Manchester United career. I know it's just a straight low move, right? No option, and yeah, but I don't think he's going to go back to Manchester United.
well?
I think he's going to end up like the Sancho thing, where it's like after the low move, they are going to try to ship him out because that relationship is broken and it's gone.
Okay, fair enough. Let's turn our attention then to Chelsea, the Blues. We saw the Blues in action today, returning back to winning ways. The Adams. It must have felt good, after the defeat last week to Manchester City. So yeah, and just like Chooks mentioned last week, this sort of top four races, there'll be weekends where your rivals or the people you are fighting the position with will drop points, and then if you can capitalize, that would be good. So now you guys have capitalized, and I think you're currently in the top four standings. So it feels good. It's just like the pressure is back on the other teams below us, to win and dislodge us. So in terms of the game today, the Adams, how did you see the game from your view? What did they do? What did the coach get right that he didn't get right before? And yeah, how is he looking for you guys?
I think it was a very professional performance. It was a very professional performance. A lot of things that we did well was game management. We managed the game really well. And from the coach's perspective, he made a lot of subs early. He made subs early, sorry. So like some minutes into the first half, he took out Jackson and he brought in Gui, he brought in Neto, which eventually changed the game in our favor. A few minutes after that, he also no before we scored actually, he brought on Nkunku and Gusto, and that's not really what he does. He usually waits till like the later stages of the game to make changes, and sometimes he doesn't even make changes. So that was a welcome change, and yeah, I just felt like it was a more controlled performance. We were more professional. West Ham set up really well. They had almost all the men behind the ball, and they tried to catch us at the counter. And yeah, of course, Potter coming back, homecoming for him after his time at Chelsea. So he definitely had something to prove. I felt like West Ham also played well defensively in their shape. Yeah, credit to Palmer because when things are not going right, you want your star man, your most important player, to take responsibility. And even during the course of the game where we're not getting chances, he kept showing for the ball. Like he kept wanting the responsibility, showing up deep to get the ball, moving the play forward. And not just that, I saw him, perhaps I think this is the most I've seen him walk off the ball. Off the ball, he was on it. Like he didn't have that luxury of just roaming around. Whenever he loses the ball, he was tracking back. He was making sure to double his man. And those are the things, like the little things that get you over the line in Premier League. It's not all about tactics, talent. It's okay. Can you control the game when you're on top? Can you take the sting out of the game? Because once we went 2-1 up, we didn't West Ham couldn't really offer anything anymore. Like we took the bite out of the game for them. I know they had that chance toward the end of the game, and that's one thing we need to do is cut out mistakes from our game. But that would take time. Really young team. And the oldest player in our team is Tosin Adarabioyo, 27 years old. That's and the coach also not really experienced. So of course things like this are going to happen. But I'll take the 3 points. A lot of the games where we played better and didn't win. This was a more controlled and more professional performance in front of the fans. So yeah, it was a much needed 3 points for us.
Yeah, first. So yeah, in terms of like Chelsea's target this season, I think the objective is sort of pretty much clear. It's a top four, the Conference League, and maybe the FA Cup as well. Will be a successful season.
Yeah, yeah, it's always been the Champions League. We have to get in Champions League, and the places for Champions League, like Chuk said last season, last episode, is going to go down to the wire. Man City, and I'm hearing that fifth place might qualify you for Champions. If that's true, and that's good, but still you have Aston Villa, Newcastle. It's
Bournemouth,
yeah, it's Bournemouth as well. It's going to definitely go back to the wire, and you could tell by some of our players are linked to Aston Villa, and we refuse to do business with them because we don't want to strengthen
the direct
yeah,
rival.
direct rival going to Champions League, and we'll rather loan the Sassy to Tottenham, imagine, than loan him to Aston Villa. Yeah, so it's going to be a long race. I'm just a little bit scared because of the squad that we have right now is a little bit vulnerable. All right.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, like, so are you disappointed that there were no sort of incomings in this
Yeah.
transfer?
Yeah, absolutely. Look at Aston Villa. Look at the amount of business they got done. They saw the holes. They're still trying. I don't know. Probably is it already deadline?
Yeah, the deadline is done now.
Okay, I don't know if they got in a defender because they had a few players out in defense. And they were aggressive right from the off. They tried to get Joao Felix. They go Rashford. They go Asensio. That's the type of business you want to do if you have a target in mind. Look at Man City. But Man City, I consider them a for rival too. They've gone out and splashed like 200 million. And you're looking at your team that has obvious needs for reinforcements, right? Right now, we only have like one recognized left back in Cucurella. Atano Vega got loaned out to Juve. We don't have it. And Ben Chilwell also gone to Crystal Palace. So if Cucurella is out, we'll have to play Gusto or James or somebody else in that position.
Makeshift left back.
It's be weird. Our backup striker is an 18-year-old. While losing Joao Felix of course, Joao Felix wasn't playing much, but he's still somebody that is still. I don't know if the deal has been confirmed. I'll have to check. So if he stays, then okay, I get it. But if he doesn't stay, who is coming in to replace him? That's one experienced player that on his day can cause some damage, even if he's playing, even if it's just for Conference League, right? Now we don't have that anymore. We have to, and we don't have a replacement in for that. I think we called Datro Fofana. Yeah, so Datro Fofana, I don't know if he's up to the scratch, maybe for Conference League and FA Cup, but yeah, I'm still worried because Jackson needed a bit of competition. I don't know, man. Like I'm still worried about that position.
So you're still sort of skeptical about your squad depth going into
Yeah,
the final part of the season.
yeah, and it's still a young team as well, so people will always be in and out of form a lot of the times.
Yeah,
You've seen Sancho, it's like he has taken a deep. Neto did, Madueke did. So it's like we need somebody else in there. And Nkunku can't quite find his place in the team in terms of position. But today when he came on, he didn't play up top, which was better. He was like a little more central. I hope that continues. But yeah, Maresca has to find solutions within his team and opportunities within his team. But I'm pretty confident that we'll have that. This is just a spell. We'll have that spell back. We'll have that period back where we'll get our confidence and we'll be back to our top form. But yeah, we just need to navigate this difficult period and just try to see what we can get from there.
she's crazy for the status of both teams. Let's quickly start. Let's start with Spurs, right? So yeah, we saw them finally come back to winning ways in the Premier League. They defeated Brentford. Good victory away from home, 2-0, considering the sort of issues they have in terms of injuries and the sort of form confidence that they have. I thought that was a very good victory. I saw some parts of the game. I thought they were solid. They defended their box very well, and they took the chances that they had that came their way. One of the goals was an own goal, and then the second goal, good finish from Pap Matissa. So yeah, it was a good win for them. Forward for them, confidence for them going forward. They have Liverpool in the second leg on Thursday, so which is going to be very interesting. They will be feeling a bit confident that not so confident, but they'll be feeling like yeah, they just need to sort of defend. If they can keep a clean sheet, they will see themselves in the final, which is for Tottenham. It's going to be very hard, but we'll see. And then the injured players are coming back. Mickey Van der Ven is sort of back now with the team. It's possible he's going to be available for that game. They've made two signings as well. There's this defender from
That's
Lens, Kevin Danso. Yeah, played for. I saw him. He's a good defender. I saw him in the Euros with Austria. I thought he was decent. And then the guy that rejected them, the corners, I want to see the guy that rejected them has now come back to say, okay, fine, I'm going to come to you. So it
yeah.
looks like the weekend sort of ended on a good note for Tottenham. Uzo is not here to give us his brief, but I'm assuming I'm speaking for him. So yes, it looks like they're in a good place. Like I would have loved to ask Uzo, but maybe Adams, if you can speak for him. I wanted to ask him if would it take Tottenham winning any sort of trophy this season, even if it meant that they finished like 13th or 14th in it.
Of course, like this season is a write off. Like it's done. Like
Yeah.
you want to talk about the amount of injuries that they had, and I don't. They're not doing anything anymore this season in terms of their Premier League places. In terms of Premier League places, right? I don't see them. Maybe the highest they can finish like 10th or 7th thereabouts. So
So it's more of them resting players for the cups, the
yeah,
Europa
yeah,
Leagues, the
yeah.
FA Cups, the Carabao Cups.
Yeah, absolutely. Like if they can, and then they have the Europa League. Okay, you talked about the Europa League. I think
Yeah,
that's a competition that they should take serious.
yeah. Because I think they have a good record there as well.
Yeah.
Like right now, yeah. So you never know, maybe it's just a way of like, yeah, this might be I don't know why I keep on saying like I feel like this might be the year that Tottenham wins something. I just feel like they just might just it looks
Yeah, I
like
mean,
they're
I
waiting for
was
the
backing them to win the what's it called,
Carabao.
Carabao Cup, and yeah, so we'll see.
It
It
looks
looks
like they
like
might
that.
knock Liverpool out in that
Yeah, if they can
semi-final.
knock Liverpool out, it's still going to be a big ask. If Arsenal, Newcastle, whoever qualifies to try and beat any of this team. Yeah.
We'll see, we'll see how it goes. Ange is going to come and laugh at our faces. Like, I told you guys, I always win in my second season. You laughed at me.
I'm waiting for that, man. I want him to stay to the end of the season just because of that.
Okay, fair enough. Let's then quickly touch on United. United, I don't know what to say about them. It looks like one step forward, two steps backward. I didn't see much of the game, but I was reading some sort of article and it was saying, so they didn't even start the game with a recognized striker. It was almost like as if, what's his name, Kobe Mainu was like the most advanced player. And I'm like, Ruben Amorim, what are you doing, mate? What's happening? So it looks like, yeah, confidence all over the team. Looks like it's down. Injury to, what's his name now? Lisandro
Martinez.
Martinez is ruled out for the rest of the season, which is bad news for them. I will always come back to that post-match interview against Liverpool where he was saying they were asking him and he said it's the mentality, it's the mentality. But we change the mindset. So what has happened since then? United. I'm just looking at it just looks like Amorim he's breaking all sorts of bad records. Yeah, like he has joined the list of Manchester United managers that has lost 5 games in a season. That'll be 5 home games in a season. Like for holding Old Trafford. United this season, they're the team that has the most nil-nil draws in the first half. Just imagine that. In fact, the only first half goal they scored this season is Bruno Fernandes. No, not this season. The only first half goal they've scored in the last 14 matches is a Bruno Fernandes penalty. United these guys are
They're going
yeah,
through it, man. They're going through
they're
it.
going through it, man. You never thought you see something like this happen to the great, like some people will say the greatest team in English football. But yeah, as a Liverpool fan, I don't mind it. Anytime I'm sort of having a bad time, knowing where United are sort of like brightens my day. It makes me happy. I'm sorry, but I have to say it. Yes. I just want to ask you one question, though, Adams. In terms of, so you hear a lot of Manchester United fans saying, give Amorim time. He doesn't have the players to play his style or his formation. Though there's a few part of their fan base who thinks that, maybe Ruben Amorim is not that good of a manager after all. Because you're looking at the record, 13 points in 14 Premier League games. That's horrendous.
Yeah,
So what's your view? Is it Amorim is not a good coach, or he doesn't have the players, or
I think Manchester United, right, is a different level, different sets of expectations. So even if you are good, you need, you need a different type of mentality. You need to be on top of everything. Like everything needs to go well for you. And Manchester United right now is just a big mess. Just a big mess. They have different profiles of players. They have players that Ten Hag signed to play. Even Ten Hag signed different type of players for different type of style of play, style of football, and he just walked into like a total mess, a chaos. The whole Rashford saga. They're also trying to move out Garnacho at some point. We had rumors that they were also trying to sell Menu. So it's a whole lot going on with that team. And I felt like it was a strange decision for Amorim to come at this time of the season. It wasn't even midway through the season, just to come into that mess and leave his team. I would have expected that he would have waited till at least the summer and where he can have more time to assess the situation. But now he's just trying to build the plane while, build the plane while he's flying it, something like that. And it's very difficult to do in a team like that, in a team like United, right? It's a massive team, massive expectations. Yeah, I don't think he has the luxury of time. It was just a bad decision all around to hire a manager, you know, normally what you do is like, okay, the right
it's
of
in
the
the
season.
summer?
Yeah, right of the season. Just tank the season, get someone interim in, try to, look for a new coach, restructure, reorganize, and then go again. But now they try to fix everything so soon and they even make it matters worse because now he's not going to get the confidence from the fans. Now, you won't get the proper backing for some of the board, some of the members of the board too, because they're like, will he succeed? So it's going to be, and the players, some of them might not, want to buy in because they're not winning. So it's going to be very, very difficult for him. But I'll still say let's wait till next season to have a full picture of, a Ruben Amorim team because it does feel like now he's just, making do what he has. And we've seen flashes, right? We've seen flashes here and there of what they can do, in the big games against Arsenal and Man City and Liverpool. They did all right. And my other thing is a Manchester United team playing this way, like with three at the back, wing backs. I don't know, man. I don't think it can, especially the way football is these days, right? Apart from the Italian teams that are, historically they have history of being like defensive and like that. Apart from those teams, right? I don't think any top team should be playing consistently with three at the back. I mean, it's just my opinion. I feel like as a top team, you should constantly be on the front foot and have your best players and have more attacking players or attacking minded players on the pitch. There's no reason why your most creative player should be a wing back, having extra security in terms of another defender. I don't know, right? And this is coming from a Chelsea fan that if even if Chelsea play with three at the back, we can still understand it. Like we have recent history to back that up, right? Conte did it and we won the league. But Manchester United is just such a different, is a culture shift for them. Imagine Liverpool starts playing three at the back. Yeah, like so it's I don't know, man. It doesn't feel like a good fit.
Yeah. So are you saying that it's almost like you're saying that Amorim was like the wrong appointment?
Like yeah, it feels like that, but he
Wow.
was the best coach that was available at the time, and they made the hasty decision of appointing him, which I was going back, which I said like maybe they would have waited till the summer and assess things more to see who. If you look at the coach market right now, who could they potentially have gone for?
There's no. You're looking for the top names. Maybe
Yeah,
unless you're looking at those that are already in the Premier League, the Raolas. the
And even those coaches, right, you still have to wait till the end of the season because none of
season
them
to
want
get
to. So they just
leave
made,
exactly.
yeah, it's just poor decision making from the top, and which has been a hallmark of this team. Like the decision they've been making are just so poor. Because why would you go for a coach midway through the season without assessing all the options and looking at the profile of players that you have? And that's one thing that Chelsea did. They did well, so to say, because they waited till the end of the season, and we sort of were riding it out with Poch because we could have sacked Poch after that. Arsenal lost a lot of times. We could have sacked him, but they waited and they assessed the situation, look at the squad, and felt like Maresca was a good fit for the role. I don't think Maresca would have been the choice if we had sacked Poch at that time. So yeah, Manchester United fans, I don't know. I don't have good news for you. It's going to be long. It's going to be tough. It's going to be
It's gonna
scary.
get a whole lot worse before it
Yeah.
gets better.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a Liverpool fan, I'm sorry. I think I can live with that. Guys, okay, yeah, I think this is where we will have to sort of bring the show to an end. So yeah, then the show ended with two of us. Thanks again as usual for joining.
Of
Thanks,
course.
guys. Thanks, fans, for the comments, the likes. Please keep them coming. Keep the comments coming. Manchester United fans, what do you think about the Adam saying that Amorim was like the wrong appointment for you guys? Is he a hater or he's spot on? Let us know. Let us know what you think, guys. Thanks so much, guys, for having us. And yeah, we'll see you next week. We'll be back here. Cheers.
Peace.